Mr. Jackson says I need to include primary and secondary sources in my project. I have no idea what they are.
They are things that we create every day. When you take a photo or write a story, you're creating primary documents. 100 years ago, kids just like you developed similar pieces of history, and now we use those things to build a clearer picture of what life was like in the past.
So you're telling me anything I write down is a primary source document?
Everything we make is a primary source. Writing it down isn't always needed. Primary sources are everything, such as a picture, a grocery list, and even a toy.
But we don't look at George Washington's grocery list.
Yet in a way we do. Historians look at the documents of the past and take out the important information that can be related to today. For example, let's use a grocery list. We can see in this list that the American family bought basic foodstuffs such as bread, butter, and eggs. They also bought apples, potatoes, and a few pounds of meat. Next, let's look at a grocery list from today. When we look at this one from the average family today, it has a different type of composition. It includes less items such as fresh fruit and vegetables, and has more sugary foods such as pudding, cake, and frosting. What does this tell us about the American diet today compared to 60 years ago?
Seems like today we eat a lot more junk food. This family, for example, has hot dogs and pizza rolls on their list.
Someone might even say that this relates to women being in the workforce. In the 1950s, traditional family values said that mothers had to stay home and cook and clean, but this newer list suggests that because both mothers and fathers work, there is less time dedicated to cooking large meals.
Wow, we got all that from the grocery list?
Yes, we did, and we can apply this method to all different types of primary documents. We can read letters and diary entries and then use that information to tell what changes occur in history.
Well, I read a biography about George Washington once, and I really learned a lot.
Surely we learn about the past from secondary sources also.
What are secondary sources?
Secondary sources aren't the original documents, but they still evaluate and analyze the primary sources. Examples of it would be textbooks, book reports, and biographies.
What does this tell us about history?
A grocery list is just one example of a glimpse into someone's life. Primary sources are like snapshots of the past. The more of them we have, the more we can learn from them. Each primary source is like a piece of the puzzle that is history. When we put them all together, we can get a clear picture of a past event, person, or place. The more we know about history, the more knowledge we can apply to the future. That is why it is important to recognize and use primary and secondary sources.
Primary sources are extremely important in understanding our past. The Library of Congress collects primary sources to further the progress of knowledge and creativity for the benefit of all Americans.
This project was completed in conjunction with the Library of Congress's Teaching with Primary Sources Eastern Region program, coordinated by Waynesburg University.
For more information on primary and secondary sources, visit digginghistory.wikispaces.com or loc.gov.